Just say I expressed some skepticism about the very concept of motion control. And I may have said a few uncharitable things about the PlayStation Move. So, days later, a coworker tells me there's somebody who wants to have a phone meeting with me about the interview. I'm like, oh, okay, who is it? They said Sony. And, I was like, oh, great, I really want to have this conversation. And, I took the meeting, and I expected, a lot of, gnashing of teeth and nervousness. And instead, what they said is, they said, Ken, look, we want to make you a believer. And I was like, look, dude, irrational, we don't do, that. That's not our thing. We don't do that. We don't do that. We do this. We do core games, DualShock stuff. And then they said something that struck a chord with me. They said, we're not talking about this or that. What we're talking about is removing this barrier of entry. The people who love your story and love your worlds, who love the idea of BioShock, but they just can't get their head around this. What if they could play your game? What would you wager if you could get those people on board to try your game as well as your core audience without sacrificing anything? And I said, look, I tell you what I won't wager is I won't wager these people. And they said, you don't have to. So, they sent us a PlayStation Move, and the first thing we noticed is that the damn thing kind of looks like a DualShock. It's got all the cool buttons and everything. And we started playing around with it, and once we got past that initial anxiety that our game would translate well, we started seeing other opportunities, other ways to interact with the world, with Elizabeth, with the skyline, how you can move around in that space. But I don't have a ton of time for discussing those things, and we're going to talk about that another day, and we're just getting rolling. But we're going to have PlayStation Move on the BioShock Infinite, and the exciting part is we're just starting to get our head around what that can mean. And before I go, there's another game we've been thinking about for a long time. It's a bit of a pet project of Irrational's, and it's set in the BioShock universe. And this has been kicking around for a few years now. And it's very early days, and the design is still evolving. But recently, we found the right home for it. It's on this guy. On the NGP. And so this is going to be interesting too. Listen, thanks everyone, and we hope we see a lot of you at the booth to check out BioShock Infinite.
Oh, yes.
And if not, we can check it out online. Thanks a lot, guys.